called my parents and I said, Mom, Dad, I'm changing my language from French to Arabic.
That's never something I had done before, so to kind of like look at that from a grammatical standpoint and from a structural standpoint, but also from content. It's first and foremost a language learning tool.
You take different versions of those three letters and you combine them in different ways.
Majalla Chicago translates to the Chicago magazine. We have Majalla Chicago here, and it is the university's first Arabic language publication. And what it is essentially a collection of articles, poems, submissions from students on campus, from the college and from graduate school, who are contributing their Arabic language writing to our publication.
It's a way for them to practice their Arabic, but also really explore the intricacies of the language, look at different aspects of the culture, as well as sort of situating aspects of their own culture within a uniquely Arabic context.
So the magazine is targeted for students learning the language. We have students submitted who had only taken 1 year of Arabic, and we have native speakers as well who have submitted. So it's really trying to show kind of like an array of skills and an array of language learning experiences. So we had one person write about the worst date they'd ever been on in their life. We had another person kind of give a brief summary of what their thesis is and about the history of Oman. So there's quite an array of content.
Another person sort of commented on Arab culture. Another person looked at or did sort of a travelogue of one of the experiences she had traveling through, I believe it was Jordan.
Yeah, and we also include a lot of photography, so students who have traveled to the Arab world get to kind of contribute in that way as well.
Instead of sort of burying your best writing under the stacks of paper the teachers might be grading, you actually get a chance to show it to the campus. It is a tool to sort of write about your own experiences, tell your story in this beautiful second language or third language for some people.
So I started learning Arabic when I was in high school. Growing up, seeing all that information in the news about the Middle East and wanting to learn more about current events and wanting to understand kind of what was happening in that region, and realizing kind of the first step in understanding that would be language and being able to communicate and learn from other people.
Like Madeline, I started in high school during my junior year. I took a trip in the summer to the Middle East and I became really captivated with the culture, at which point I called my parents and I said, Mom, Dad, I'm changing my language from French to Arabic. And they said, what? And I said, yeah, it's been a real roller coaster, but I've really enjoyed it. In the winter, I found a piece that was about a prep school, and I kept reading it. It was about King Abdullah's visit to a prep school, and I realized at a certain point that I'm actually familiar with that prep school because it was my athletic rival in high school. It was a really cool experience to see that even across this crazy language, there is some common ground.
The idea kind of sprang from two other students, Nicholas Poske and Alyssa Bryan, who are both graduating next year. We're so lucky to be taking this over and to be continuing their legacy after they graduate and go on to really extraordinary jobs next year.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to inherit this legacy.
If you wanted to pick up a copy, you can find them in the Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations office, as well as the Center for Middle Eastern Studies or the Language Learning Center.